Jaco, hello. Thank you so much for joining us and for agreeing to have an interview with deVonk. It's super exciting to have you on board.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You are most welcome. So you are from Empire Photography, and personally, I love your work. I fell in love with your photography. And I wanted to share you and your work and your story with our viewers. So I think let's kick it off and give me a bit of an idea on why you started your business, your passion for photography, and yeah, just basically that.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So it started on the beach. It was about 1996. Me and my high school sweetheart, now wife and sometimes second shooter, we've been together. I'm 42 years old. We're going for our 20th wedding anniversary now, December.
Congrats.
And thanks, man. So it's been a long journey, but there it was where I sort of knew what I was going to do. 3/4 of the photos didn't come out because I shot with film and like manual. I tried to be manual man. And I couldn't figure out what I liked more, just watching my beautiful girlfriend on the beach and me doing this artistic stuff.
Yes.
Like the one thing was where she was under a blanket on the beach, so she's on this hot beach, but it's called, so it was a themed or a concept thing basically.
Yes.
And yeah, so it evolved from there, and I never stopped shooting. It like really. So we went through high school, and then I think that was standard 9, 10 around there, which is now grade 12, I think.
Yes,
and basically, I wanted to become like a fashion designer and a photographer. I actually had an opportunity at St. Martin's College. Reminds me of that song. But anyway. Where I was in London. I was on the call and I was shaking like this, and I left a voice note to voice note. At that time it was voice recording, so what you call it, voice machine. Yes. And I never phoned the guy back. Came back to South Africa, and my dad gave me the opportunity to work with him with his business that he started, a trailer business. And then, long story short, I worked myself up from there, from the floor, under numerous other people. They all left and came back, and eventually, I really worked hard for it. I didn't get this business on a silver platter. Eventually, I ended up owning the business.
Yes.
So it wasn't like my father just gave it to me. It was about 14 years we had the business, and it really grew. It exploded when it exploded in a good way. After about 4 years, when I had this passion for quad biking. So I did a mini photo shoot with my quad bike in a trailer.
Yes.
And I was like, this is my trailer design. I designed a tipping trailer that worked in a very specific way, drive up quad bikes, whatever. And then I said to my dad, look, we've got this Quad for Fun magazine. Please, can we just put it out in? It's only $500 a month. Yes. And he was like, no. We're just doing our normal trailers. A long story, it wasn't supposed to be a trailer business. Something fell through the floor, but then we started with the trailer. So long story short, we basically then, I did that mini photo shoot with my quad bike and how the trailer works. And after having a heated discussion with my dad, we said that, okay, cool, we'll do this ad once and see. We did an ad, and we literally, the business it skyrocketed. Wow. So like everybody wanted a quad bike trailer like that, and the quad bike market was very up there at that time. Yes. We were one of the few people that actually made custom built trailers. We were SABS registered before any other. Before Fender trailers actually. Yes. We built a total of about 3,000 trailers in the time we were there. Very small shop, but we did it. But during that time, my photography was always part of the business. So I then wanted to go to St. Martin's College and go study there for fashion design and photography. Yeah. But he said, no, if you go, I'll make sure there's nothing left for you when you come back, whatever. Long story short, I was very upset. And years afterwards, I sort of understand why he said that. But that's another story, which I could write a book about. But anyway, so the photography is part of that business always, because we added new magazine ads. So I learned Photoshop there. And then basically my dad got sick in a very bad time where there was a recession, and the whole business crashed and burned.
Oh, wow.
So I was left with like nothing. Ended up with trying to be a selling what do you call it, life insurance to people. I'm a word. That was so. Anyway, that didn't work. I hate cold calls. And then, but I still tried the photography thing through the time, and then I was unemployed for 3 years. But I then I had like a cheapo camera, point and shoot, which I then gave to my father for his better camera, and paid him a full 2,000 rand after explaining to him that I want to do photography as a career. And nobody believed in me. My whole family was like up in arms about it, and they thought like this is a big waste of, which I do understand, because it's not, if you are successful in this business, you've got to be really, really, really good. And not just really, really good, you've got to have some business sense, which I only learned a few years ago. So
nothing wrong.
Then basically, I started the photography business in 2011, called, I wanted to call it something related to my sister's business, and she and her husband said, no, you build your own brand, whatever, and we have this discussion again in 5 years. And my wife said, and we were like, what do we call this business? What are we going to call it? And she said, well, we will build our own damn empire. And then there was Empire Photography.
That's amazing.
So, and then thanks, man. And then basically, I'm gonna try not to elaborate too much. Say if I talk too much, but you can always cut out stuff. Like
no, please talk. I want people to get to know you and your business.
Yeah, and then basically, I ended up at a set building company where I also still did photography. I did it part-time then. When my business was established. It wasn't full-time Empire Photography, but I did shoots over the weekends and stuff like that, you know. So that business, I also did a lot of photography for them. I really helped their business grow. It really helped them a lot. They you know. So I also got the opportunity to work with very nice people there, like Trevor Noah, you know, photographing him, and many other famous people that I didn't even know their names, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, the value that I added to that business was they never had proper photography. So it just grew from there. And I wanted to grow with them and say, basically, look, let's build our businesses together. I'll still work for this company with set building, but let's help the photography business grow too, and we can grow together. You could even get commission out of not commission, as you call it, sort of a partnership in my photography business. So, long story short, they decided to immigrate, and it didn't go well. So I resigned. I tried very hard. I was there for 7 years. And then I left the business. So that was a very hard decision. My wife was freaked out because I was previously unemployed for 3 years, like I said. Where I tried the photography and my own set building before the set building company, and it was just a mess. So, but I told her, look, I've got much more experience now. I've learned a lot of positive things from these people as well. The set building company. You know, so running a business, my dad was a brilliant business person, but his problem was he was good at making money, he was good with clients, but he was very good with spending money as well. And also good with opening accounts and stuff for buying steel. So that was one of our main problems in the end, even though I must say he did get very sick after that. They left crocodile company's art chamber, and they had to remove that. So that almost destroyed us, even though, anyway. So long story short, that ended. I stopped. That was about 4.5 years ago, I think, working there. And then I went full-time photography. But then my business was already established for about 6-7 years. So we're now at year number 10 plus.
Wonderful.
And then basically, that's the story of how did the business start and why. And then I was really on a rocket ship to Mars before this pandemic came. I was really doing so well. I can't tell you. It was like after almost 10 years of struggling, I felt, wow, I'm finally actually doing financially as almost as good as I did with the trailer business.
Yeah.
But then the pandemic came, and then it was just I want to use the word shitstorm. My mouse went this no. Okay, a poop storm. It was a poop storm. And not just for me, obviously for everybody. So that was very tough. Weird enoughly, about 2 months after that, I got a steamroller of work again for companies that needed to have their products shown to the world because they wanted to move to online. And that was where I really made a breakthrough with some corporates and some you know, so for their online sites, because of the kind everybody wants to do online stuff, and that went well. Then again, that
new doors for you, you know, that
yes,
maybe perhaps not aspects
yeah,
that
so
focused on
for like
before, really much.
yeah, that is weird. It was really weird. It's like, and then again, there came the second lockdown with the alcohol that I took away. One of my clients is Richelieu. And we did this. I had a lineup of video shoots for them, about 12 shoots, and all of those shoots got cancelled because of the pandemic, because of the alcohol banning and crap. So yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare. Then that was a struggling part. Then basically, yeah, so it went like this, and now it's going like this. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It's everywhere.
It's like my very good friend that I learned a lot from, a very good cinematographer. He actually did a couple of movies, South African movies that he actually produced and directed and filmed himself. I don't know if I can mention the names.
Of course, you can mention whoever you want. Just by the way, we have an entertainment category as well, so maybe we bring him on
board. Cool. Yeah, so maybe he's very camera shy though. I don't think he's even worse. He's always behind the camera, but he's brilliant. He was such a big inspiration and help for me. I can't tell you. He's one of my best friends, and I always respect him because he really helped me, not with like money, but like with advice, with guidance, getting jobs landed, and just good videography advice. So Treurgrond was one movie he made. There was, I think about half of all South African music videos, Afrikaans music videos, he did that. So I learned a lot of videography with him. That's where the videography part grew as well. But that only came into the business about 5-6 years ago. So that the photography was obviously much longer, established much longer. So I think we can sort of, and then that's where we are here now, basically. It's going well again. There was about 2 months where there was no work with the previous alcohol ban, and then everybody gets stands still, and it's like, oh, I just want to put my phone on silent because I'm just getting messages. Sorry about that.
No worries.
And I think it's just ping, ping, ping. So, so at the moment it's going better, but about 2 weeks ago it went so bad that we had to like ask for food from family. It was really that bad. Because I coped with the first part of the pandemic, and I sort of had backup plans, but it just, anyway, so now it's just picking up again. It seems like things might go well or better, but yeah, that's where we are now, and I think we can grow from there.
Definitely. And you know what, Jaco, I mean, from the first time I had the privilege of working with you and seeing your work, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring you on board with our launch, because I want to show off to all our viewers how beautiful your work is. And you know, this is it's the whole idea around deVonk is to create that platform where you introduce your brand, you create and you reach networks that you never thought you'd possibly, or in your wildest dreams, would have been able to reach. And I really sincerely hope and wish that from this, people are just going to fall in love with you the same way I did with your work, and it's just going to boom. And I know it is. I know it is.
Thank you.
So there's a second question.
I also believe there'll come a surge for a lot of work for a lot of industries. Some will collapse. I think office buildings, I feel very sorry for them. They're like, I mean, they've got these big office buildings and everybody is working, or a lot of people are working from home. So what is going to happen to those people? You know, so I feel very sorry for them. I don't know what they're going to do. People like us entrepreneurs, we might struggle now, but we don't lose our jobs and then we can't find a job again. We always improvise and make a plan.
Yeah, we chop and change what we're currently busy doing, looking for new opportunities, finding ways in making it work. And you mentioned earlier about the ad in the magazine that you and your dad finally agreed to. You have actually done some covers for magazines. So tell me a little bit about that, please. That's exciting.
Yes, so my first magazine cover was nerve-wracking. That was just when I left that said building company. And I was unemployed. I didn't have a car. My dad took me to the place with his old car, and my son was with me. He was a little boy, and they waited for me in the park while my son was playing. So my dad had his second chance after he almost died. I know this might sound irrelevant, but it's really part of the story, I think. When my dad almost died, my son was born in the same hospital. So he recovered and he saw my son in the same hospital. He went with his rolling chair to his window. I've got this photo of him looking through the window at his little new grandchild. So he had this second chance. It was so beautiful. And looking back after his death, I want to cry, but I'm not going to do that. I've done that enough. And then basically he got 7 years that he got to know my son, and then he passed away. But anyway, so he passed away a couple of months after that. They took me to that magazine cover. It was the first one. It was Veronique Lalique, if I'm correct. She's was one of the singers for what's the show's name? The Voice. And so that was awesome. I was really impressed with like I said, it was nerve-wracking, and I had to borrow a camera because I didn't have a full frame camera at the time to try and get the best possible results. And since then I've always been working for Get It on a regular basis, and a lot of my other photography has been used in numerous other magazines and stuff.
Well, that's brilliant. That's super exciting. And you know what, those stories where whether you arrive at a meeting or an interview or at a photo shoot like yourself, these are the stories that you will remember for the rest of your life. And these are the stories that you can now sit back and look at and go, what was I doing? And but it's all part of, and luckily these people didn't know, and I think that's so, and I actually think that that's such a discussion point specifically for our entrepreneurs, that what you portray and what you try and come across as, you never want people to kind of look down on you or go, oh, shame. You know what I'm saying? And you always try and, portray almost something that you're not. And not that you're not, but you don't want to show people your struggles. You don't want people to know about what's really going on in the background.
Yes, you're right. But my problem is I overshare sometimes and I over-complain. And a good friend of mine that works with me on the Get It always, we had a long meeting 2 days ago, and I realized after speaking to her that, oh boy, I do talk too much, which is a good thing. It's my superpower. It's my weakness. It's my blessing. It's my curse.
Yes.
On a shoot, it's my superpower. I can make almost anybody have a good time. So I can make them laugh or like, what the heck? Even that is fun,
Yes.
But at the end of the day, sometimes when I need to listen, I just need to shut up and listen. And I've been growing through the past years, but she reminded me again a couple of days ago about, look, man, you got to just listen, don't just talk, There's this thing about Alan Watts that I send my son, and he's very similar to that, where it says about talking a lot. So talking a lot is good, but it's something I need to. So I sometimes tend to complain, and I'm trying to do that less now.
Okay. Well, today is specifically your platform, so I want you to talk. And I said to you before we started, you be you. If you talk too lot, people complain I talk too loud. And it's just one of those things. It's just part of who I am. And even when I, it just does not come out right. But I love talking to you today. And I love that you're sharing with us. I want to skip to the next one. And this is my favorite topic. I couldn't wait to talk to you about this today. And that is, what is the weirdest photo shoot that you have ever done? Okay.
Weirdest photo shoot. Hold on a sec. I just want to cut. And I also record. I'm sorry. Okay, I've got it. So so you've asked the question. You're just going to cut so I can just go ahead.
You can go, yes.
Okay, so the weirdest photo shoot I've ever done. I've done many weird ones, so I might not mention those, and I don't think the clients would like me sharing that. But I've always been professional about it. My wife has always been with me just to check that everything's okay. So some of the clients don't make moves on me. I'm not that kind of person or whatever. I just always want like an assistant to be there with me if it's an awkward shoot or like a boudoir shoot, and I really handle those well. But I really believe in having somebody with, because it's sort of a witness, and it makes things much more professional. It's not so that's one thing. But this one shoot we did for HPC, my sister's place with Peter and Peter Bondisia, and basically the shoot was it was a mixture of Heidi Couture, but mainly HPC focus. So that was lingerie.
Yes.
And I've done many lingerie and boudoir shoots and stuff, and that was really awesome. But the weird thing about it was not the lingerie. It was this amazing and beautiful male unicorn king. He was a male unicorn king. It was just the weirdest thing ever, and that was maybe my weirdest shoot ever. But in a cool way. It wasn't weird in a funny way. It was weird in a cool way. And that was the weirdest part.
Wow.
That was the weirdest one.
Okay, now I have my favorites, and that is Boris the Russian bear. Please tell our viewers about Boris the Russian bear.
Oh, so Boris the Russian bear. So that was about, wow. I think I didn't have much gray hair there. I think now I've got gray hair. I didn't do a proper self-portrait in quite a while. I did a recent one, but it's very shadowy. So long story short, so Boris the Russian bear was born, I think about 8 years ago.
Okay.
One night I couldn't sleep, and I was just like, ugh. What am I going to do? So I'm trying to do my photography. So I had this lighting set up in my garage.
Yes.
2 o'clock in the morning. I think it was the middle of the week. I think it was a difficult time. So, but anyway, so I had this what do you call these Russian hats with the fur on, and basically my beard was also long. And then I made my own like real Molotov cocktail with water, so that if it does fall, it's just a little bit of flames in the garage. So the idea was, I just called him Boris the Russian bear. And how I did the shoot was at that time it was very difficult, because like this camera I'm using now has got facial tracking and stuff. That time there was no such thing, so I had to like sort of put something there, focus on it, and then basically get the focus right. So it was really challenging getting focus. Once I got that done, then there was the second challenge, lighting the Molotov cocktail, which was a real fire in my hand. And then I had no shoes on, but I had this look with the parka thing on with that. And then I had a remote in my hand for triggering the camera and a lighter. So I lit the Molotov cocktail, triggered the remote shutter for the camera, and then I also basically with my toe I operated the smoke machine. So I was busy shooting myself with 4 different devices at the same time, but I got this epic look called Boris the Russian bear. It's one of my favorite self-portraits, but it's something that a lot of people don't like, or I don't know if I don't know. I love it.
I love it too, and that is exactly why I wanted to mention it. And I'm definitely putting a photo of this into your article so that people can see it. It's stunning. I absolutely love it, and I think your story behind it is just Wow. And I think I can sit and listen to you for days.
What is the Russian bear? Sometimes my alter ego. Thanks. And he helped me to get through the night sometimes when I couldn't sleep. So yeah, man, he was Boris the Russian bear, and he's still
amazing. You need to do a then and now. So maybe you should do another shoot of him. And
I want to do something like that. I was thinking about that for the last year now, but every time I'm like, I think I picked up weight, and
it doesn't matter.
I was a bit depressed. I had to go see a therapist when the pandemic started to deal with things, because I was handling things terribly, and I got a lot of good advice from the therapy. It's really good.
Well, we want to see Boris
that
as he
doesn't
is
feel
now.
good should go see a therapist if they can. What's that?
I said you must do another shoot of Boris. You have to.
Yeah.
As he
I think
is
I lost
now.
my hat. I want to get that hat again. Yeah, I'll like to do it. I still got the bottle. It was a bottle of wine that my friend got from the Cape. It's like a little funny bottle.
Yes.
I can do that again.
I want your wife.
Do 2 Molotov cocktails.
I want your wife to take a photo of you in your contraption with the hands, the light of the toes. We have to see what you look like.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Now I've got a better smoke machine. It's got a remote trigger, so I don't have to use my toe. I'll do the toe thing just for show.
Wonderful. And tell me, Jaco, tell me, what is the photo or the photo shoot that you are the most proudest of in your life, that you look at and go, wow.
Yes. So me and my wife had this discussion last night, and we were like, what the hell, man? Because I've got a folder called Magnum Opus, which is my best work. And I've done recent things that were amazing. I've done that shoot with you guys. I love that shoot. I've done a cyberpunk themed shoot also for Heidi. That was an idea I had that never really took off, but it's still there. So the proudest photo it was way back in 2013 that we did the model's name was Geraldine Brink, one of the best models I've ever worked with. She was quite young then, but I invited her and her boyfriend, so she could be more comfortable, whatever. We went to reef steamers where these all steam trains, and basically that shoot, it was the first. I found out about steampunk just like 2 months before that. I was like, wow, I love steampunk. And then I looked for proper steampunk shoots in Africa. I couldn't find a single good steampunk photo shoot before that. So I must say, and that's not to boast, I think I sort of kicked off something there. And I said to Ari, look, this is steampunk. This is how it looks. I want to do a shoot. Please help me out with some wardrobe. We're going to do it. So me and Geraldine, we went to reef steamers. We did this one shot where there was the boiler room. I think it's called the boiler room. Of the steam train. And basically it was her just with this cool steampunk clothing and a hat, and she was smoking a cigar, and it's just this cool shot. And maybe it's not technically the best shot I've ever done, but it's one of the best still to date. It's a beautiful shot. It says a lot about the cool steampunk look. It looks authentic and real, and yet it is fantasy and not a themed shoot basically. So after that, that was my single favorite photo that I'm proud of, I think, because what happened after that was a lot of photographers saw this shoot. They were like, Heidi, we need to get these costumes. And then it just, once again, it exploded due to photography. The business exploded. Not my business. Mine, I did get a couple of steampunk shoots, which was cool. I'm grateful for that. And that's good. And I wish, and still to date, I do get some of those. However, I wish I could get more proper steampunk or themed shoots. But anyway, long story short, Heidi then was so inspired by the shoot that, and the people that inquired about the clothing called steampunk, and photographers that wanted to, and then there was parties for steampunks and steampunk weddings and stuff. I didn't invent steampunk, but I think I sort of just brought it to light in South Africa and
revived it a bit.
And that's something I could say proudly without bragging or you know what I'm saying. And then she was inspired to start this brand, and once again Marie helped me with the name for our business. Heidi was like, what is the name for steampunk in Afrikaans? She phoned me the night, and I'm like, Marie, what is steampunk in Afrikaans? And Marie just laughed and she said, stoompomp. We laughed about it. And then she put down the phone with like, and the next day he told me, look, you know what? We're going to name it Stoompomp. So once again, Marie gave birth to the name of Stoompomp, which means steamroller. It means steamroller. So,
wow,
and then
that's amazing. And that is something that you can really be proud of, you know, when you,
thank you,
without you even knowing or intentionally doing something, you spark a light in someone else, and it starts snowballing, and they end up having this beautiful or successful business or project, and you actually were part of planting that seed. And that, I think, in itself is such a proud moment, you know, touching other people's
and that's why
lives
that
and inspiring them.
And to date, that's why I think that shoot, I really think that wow. I've never had a magnum opus, but still to date, 2013, that was what's freaking 7-8 years ago. I haven't had a magnum opus moment like that again.
Yes,
I've had like maybe technically better or cooler shots, but that thing kicked off something amazing, and Heidi's business to Stoompomp, it really grew, and still to date the business stands. It's actually a registered trademark. So once again, I didn't start the brand. My sister was just inspired by it. I helped her with shoots for that, and I did get some work from that, which was good. But I sometimes feel that I under market myself with the themed and artistic photography, or maybe it's just not everybody's thing. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Also, Geraldine Brinker, I want to mention. I think she was one of the top 5 models I've ever worked with, and I've worked with a lot of models. I really tried to get contacts for her. Eventually, she went overseas in China, I think, and shame, man, she tried so hard with the modeling, and I was so sad to hear that she stopped, because she came back to South Africa. I was like, please, can you come do a model shoot for us again for Stoompomp? And you know, from my side, I felt like shame. She did the shoot, and it's like I just wish she could have made a success with the modeling. But at the end of the day, for her, I think it didn't work for her. So she did something else. She went to go teach kids and stuff, and I think she's happy now. She's got a great guy, it seems. And I really wish her well. I just always hope that could have helped her as it helped my sister. But yeah, man, that was the photo.
Okay, brilliant. And then Jaco, I've got one last question for you, and that is, where you are right now with Empire Photography, where do you want to take this? What is it that you want to achieve with your business?
Well, that would be to survive, adapt, and conquer the pandemic. Okay, that is a big challenge. Up till now, we've done that. My wife had COVID, my son had COVID. My wife got the vaccine. She was sick only 3 days. My son was sick a whole week and a half. He didn't have the vaccine. So that's proof that it works. I'm not saying, you know, it's your opinion if you want to get vaccinated or not, but it's like, that is to me proof that it really does work. And then basically I want to survive this with my family. I've had a lot of losses, either closely or distant related, but more than 20 people within the last 2 months that died because of COVID. And also directly because of COVID. They weren't really sick. 1 or 2 of them were a bit unhealthy, but some of them, you know, it's really scary. So I want to survive this. I want to survive this financially. I want to survive this as a being.
Yes.
And Boris must still come with me.
Of course.
You know. And Boris must help protect my family. You know, Boris. I can also talk like Boris. Yes. But anyway, sorry, I'm going into the character.
The next interview I'm having is with Boris. We're dressed up.
I've got to get my headpiece again.
Check it out, people. Next issue, we are interviewing Boris.
Oh man, that would be so cool and weird.
And weird. I'll dress like a unicorn king.
Yeah, man. So yeah, to survive, adapt, and conquer the pandemic is what I want to do. And then what I was planning to do before this pandemic hit, while I was busy with it, was to develop into a full production company.
Wow.
So we've got three. You see three. I just need to focus. Yeah, there we go. Three bases of our business now. The one is very dormant because of how things are going in the economy. Yeah. So number one is Empire Photography. That is also where people don't understand what is Empire Photography, what is Jaco Bothma Photography.
Yeah.
Empire Photography is wedding and lifestyle events. Okay. So it's a classic look with an artistic twist. Yes. It's a basic type of photography, okay. Good quality, but not themed or anything. Then there's Jaco Bothma Photography. I can't hold my fingers right now. Sorry. Then Jaco Bothma Photography is basically my artistic and themed shoots. It's my artistic and themed. What was the other word? Yeah, and concept. Artistic, themed, and concept kind of shoots. Okay. Those are the ones I want to really like. I would really love to do more. Okay. But yeah, it's sort of 10% of the time I get a theme shoot. Then the third thing we do is I've recently started again about a year or two ago, no, 2 years ago. It was just before the pandemic. I started the third subdivision of our business called Empire Productions, okay. which focuses on set building again, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to have nothing to do with set building, but I had to expand, otherwise expand or die, you know. Yes. So I combined the three things. Those three things go well together very well. And it started to boom again, but I think, yeah, it's a bit of a challenge to get all three together. You know, I've got a set building partner. So he will, you know, basically he's like the main guy with the set building, where I'm the main guy with the photography and video. Yeah. But that part's been a bit dormant now. So small jobs, it's sort of not sometimes worth doing because it takes so much time and effort. So I can't be physically involved too much in that. So I'm trying to that's where I want to be. In 5 years, I want to have a full production company where I still do my photography. I could focus on my creative talent photography, which is the themed and artistic stuff, and think more about things and things that make you think. And then have the proper production company where we do set building, do camera rentals and stuff. I've already started a bit of camera rentals and stuff. And even the studio is open for rent if you want to book a studio.
Well, you know, that's actually brilliant because I think, you know, in the articles, Sal, in the e-magazine, we'll definitely, you know, all your contact details and everything, your services, your offerings, what it is that you guys have, or links to your website or whatever the case might be. We put it all in there. And I mean, if there are people that are interested in actually renting the studio, I think it's bloody phenomenal. It's beautiful. Thank you for showing me around a bit just now. And you're welcome to show our viewers around a bit as well. But I think, you know, I think there's definitely some great opportunity that can come from this.
It's a bit deurmekaar. It's
that's okay.
But it's okay, man. It's still relatively neat in comparison with other days. But it's for small shoots. Hollywood Studios and Hollywood Costumes, my sister's place, I would still highly recommend them for bigger shoots. If you've got a 1 or 2 person shoot and you don't have a big budget, then I would recommend coming here. I've got a pre-lighting setup for photographers. I've got some video lights as well. Yes. So you could have a rate where you rent the photography equipment as well as with that, you know. And I've done that a couple of times now. So but I really want to go next level. It's just, it's difficult to start a business like that if you don't have a big lump sum of money where you could just say, you know, so whatever. But that's something I really hope to, within the next 5 years, be able to not sit back, but be able to work smarter.
Yes.
And then, I think that's something, wow. I'm going to send you a link of a video. I always preach. My sister calls me the preacher. Yes. I'm the youngest of all of us, but sometimes I feel I'm the most sane, even though I am slightly insane. But the thing she always misunderstood about my preachers is that I don't really feel like I'm preaching. I feel like I'm trying to help her. Yes. I see things that she's struggling with and I'm trying to help her. And it's like sad to me that she sees that, you know, anyway. I'm going off the point here, am I?
That's fine.
So yeah, that's where I want to be in 5 years.
Okay,
I have my production company established and running properly. I'll manage that and still be able to do photography, especially the themed and artistic stuff.
Love it. Jaco, thank you. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking to you. And wow, I know it's just going to be exciting times from here on. And it was such a privilege talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you really
much. Good luck with everything. And kick ass after this launch. Wonderful.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to the video and working with you again, hopefully.
Brilliant.
Thanks, man. So we're going to cut now.
You're welcome. Let's cut. Bye.
Cut. See, that's